Welcome to another Yin class. I have Yin practice for you to help with your digestion. Unfortunately, I just had dinner, which I didn't plan too well, so I do advise you leave at least a couple of hours after your meal before you do practice. We've got lots of twisting, lots of compressing onto the belly, but here I am. We will just need a bolster or a nice big pillow, so just taking a minute to make sure you have that with you. Maybe popping some socks on your toes if you feel like you get cold feet, grabbing a blanket and making yourself comfortable. We're going to get started standing today, and we're bringing our pillow or our bolster with us, coming to bring it into our hip crease. And just coming to find a nice deep bend in the knees. We're finding a fold forward. And we're just dangling, draping the body over the bolster, tucking the chin, let the head be heavy. Letting the fingertips drape down towards the toes, feeling that nice compression onto the belly. Shoulders are soft and heavy. And here we just hang and dangle the whole upper body, just falling from the hips. And if you find you get dizzy when you fold upside down, you can take this same pose in a seat. Just finding your seat and folding forward over the bolster, over the legs. And starting to slow down your breath. Feeling the belly moving on your bolster or your pillow. And giving the head a nice big shake. We're about halfway through here. Checking you're not holding through the neck. Again, letting the shoulders become even heavier now. The arms are just falling out of the shoulder sockets.
3 more deep breaths here, compressing the belly into the bolster. And coming to find a nice deep bend in the knees. Coming to land back onto the mat. And placing your bolster down, we're coming to sit onto the bolster, finding a supported squat here. Taking the legs a little bit wider than the hips, coming to bring the hands into prayer. Opening the hips out nice and wide. Just coming to keep a soft gaze down to the mat or closing down your eyes. You can keep the head upright or maybe come to let the head be heavy. Just transitioning here for a couple of minutes before we make our way down onto our back. This posture can become quite intense in the hips, just sending the natural breath to circulate around the pelvis. Allowing the hips to release on every out breath. And on your next exhale breath, slowly starting to lift the head if you have it folded. Just gently bringing the knees back in together and moving onto your spine. Placing your pillow, your bolster underneath your knees. Lengthening the legs out long. Lengthening the arms out long down by your side, palms facing up. And starting to slow your breath even more now. Feeling the space around the front of the belly. your body to melt. Just imagining a big heavy doona over your body. And moving on to our cat tail twist, just slowly drawing the knees in towards the chest and coming to bring your prop down the right side of your leg and hugging the left knee in towards the chest. Just giving a gentle squeeze into the chest. Releasing the left toe down to the mat, taking the arms out into a T, starting to lift the right hip from the mat and coming to tuck it underneath the left, moving into a twist, releasing the knee, inner seam of the calf, the ankle and the foot onto your cushion or your bolster. Or if you know you have the space in your spine to release the leg all the way down to the mat, making sure it's grounded wherever you are. And here we can stay in a supine twist or find a cat tail bind. So starting to bend into the right knee and grabbing a hold of the right foot. You can keep the gaze neutral to the ceiling or gaze over the left shoulder. If you have the bind of your foot, gently releasing the foot, re-lengthening through the right leg, releasing the head to gaze back up towards the ceiling, and slowly coming to roll back onto your spine. Just finding a minute here on your back, extending the left leg long, realigning the hips through center. And if you need your prop for your twist, placing your bolster to the left side of the leg and drawing the right knee into the chest. Just a gentle pressure onto the knee. And tapping the right toes, taking the arms out into a T. And coming to lift the left hip, stacking the left hip underneath the right as you release the right leg to the left to twist. Again, bringing the knee in the seam of the calf and foot to the bolster or all the way to the mat. Noticing where it feels nice to rest your head. And coming to take your bind if you did so on the other side, bending into the left knee, grabbing a hold of the left foot.
Again, if you have the binds of the foot, gentle release. Again, slowly re-lengthening the left leg out long. And finding your way back onto your spine, either bending the knees, allowing the knees to knock in towards one another if you feel any discomfort in your lower back. Or we can find the legs long or bolster underneath the knees. Just allowing your body a moment to rebalance here. Allowing your chi, your energy to rebalance. And as though you're in slow motion, starting to move back to a seated position. First rolling to your side. And we find that peel of the body off of the floor, head stays heavy. Next we're finding our reclined butterfly pose. Grabbing a hold of your cushion or your bolster. There's a few options we have for this pose. First option is to bring your bolster a long ways to the length of your spine. If you have a block or other cushions, you can come to recline the bolster, or you can rest it all the way down to the mat. So this means your head will also be at the same level as your spine. We bring the soles of the feet together, allow the knees to drop out to the side. Just wiggling the lower back right up to the base of the bolster and coming to rest the whole length of the spine down to your cushion, taking the arms out nice and wide. If this feels yucky in the lower back, you can also place another cushion underneath the hips. Or if you want to feel a little more open, bringing the bolster across the width of your mat, just placing it just underneath the shoulder blades. Soles of the feet still remain together here. Drop the head back, grounding the crown down to the mat. Arms out nice and wide. If this feels very intense in your hips, you can also place blocks or cushions underneath the knees to support the hips. And finding a nice deep breath into the belly, full opening, so much space. And as you exhale, allow the shoulders to just fall and wrap around the bolster. Supporting our liver here. Another major organ that's part of our digestive system.
down to your final minute here. So relaxing the glutes, the hip flexors. Checking that you haven't started to crease the frown. And safely starting to exit your pose. If you have the bolster across the width of your mat, just bringing the forearms down first. Maybe grab a hold of the back of the head and help guide the head back up. Maybe we grab a hold of the outer legs to help guide the knees back in towards one another. And coming to lift into a seat, lengthening the legs out long, just finding a drape forward for a few moments. You can bring the bolster or pillow under your belly if you like. Just let the head be heavy. Releasing back to your seat and all the way down onto your back for our pentacle pose. Bolster can come underneath the knees again, or you can just take your legs and arms out nice and wide, finding a nice big starfish on your back. As always, option to bend into the knees if we need. Make sure the heels of your feet are grounded. Making yourself as comfortable as you can, shuffling the shoulder blades in towards one another, lifting the head, tucking the chin slightly, finding a nice deep breath into your belly. Releasing that breath out through the mouth, finding rest. I'm going to let you finish your practice right here. Staying for as long as you need. Aiming for at least 5 minutes. And entering into your day or your evening when you are ready. I hope whatever it is you are about to do is wonderful. Thank you for joining me for your practice. My name is Bridie. Namaste.